Welcome back to my channel, folks. It's Nicolasa, and today I'm doing a little bit of a different type of video. I'm actually going to show you a fake bag that I ordered from Macari. I am doing this for people like me who you have Louis Vuitton, you're familiar with it. However, there are times where things kind of just, you don't know. And in fact, when I ordered this, I did tell the seller that I would be getting it authenticated. And usually if it's not authentic, they'll say, oh, never mind. It's not, whatever. But this particular time, the guy was like, go ahead, be my guest. Please go ahead and get it authenticated. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna. So anyway, there were a few signs telling me it wasn't authentic. One was going to be the price. The price was $1,000. This bag is selling for about $5,000. Now, you may say to yourself, okay, you should have known then. I did know then, but sometimes people don't really care about, flipping it and all this other stuff. And his story was that he was trying to sell it for a friend and the friend didn't care. He wanted it sold. So I was like, okay, again, I threw it out there that I was getting it authenticated, and he was like, that's fine with me. So, okay, so there's nothing to hide. I did get it authenticated. It did come back that it is not authentic. So I reached out to him and I told him that I'm going to be returning it, and he's fine with that. The reason I'm sharing this with you is in this particular case, I can return it. There's no issues. You don't have to accept the order. But there might be times where there is a case where you can't return it. Now, I would tell you, knowing what I know, first of all, I should have gotten it authenticated before I purchased it. I do understand that. You win some, you lose some. So I'm sure that your comments are going to be, you should have known X, Y, and Z. But let me just kind of tell you why I went out and ventured out. Now, if I kind of get close, everything about this is okay. Like the stitching, the number of stitches on this side, number of stitches here, and number of stitches here. I was good. I did question a couple of things. One of the things I questioned was, as you can see right up here, this is not something Louis Vuitton would do. The stitching was off, but I couldn't really see it in the photos. It was kind of blurry, but I was sitting there trying to count all the stitching. But look at the haphazard stitching here, okay? Telltale sign number one. Number two, it looked kind of reddish on the trim. And if you look close, honestly speaking, guys, this bag is made with quality. It really is, despite what I'm pointing out to you. It is 45 centimeters across. That's another sign that it's not authentic, is when it's not even 45 across and it's supposed to be a 45. This is supposed to be the collaboration between Louis Vuitton and Supreme. If you look close, you can actually see the Louis Vuitton imprint there, and you can see Supreme there. I thought to myself, wow, you guys go through great lengths to produce a effing fake bag. Like, I don't get it. The red is too red. Now on camera, you might say to yourself, that's not that bad. So what I did is I went and grabbed my No Way. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my Neo No Way. Actually, I'm lying to you. I'm grabbing my Petite No Way. I did get this Petite No Way, excuse me, fixed at Louis Vuitton. So when I did a comparison of the two in terms of the color, you will see that this is red. I hope it's zooming in for you, versus this, which is ox blood. It is literally a difference. Let me get in. You see that? It's different. It's way different. Look at that. So this is non-authentic, authentic. It's ox blood. Now by itself, let me get in. By itself, it doesn't look so bad. It doesn't look so red. It's like, what are you talking about? But when you put it with an authentic item, and again, this item was recently repaired at Louis Vuitton, so I wanted something that was new Vachetta. so that I can make that comparison. Look at the difference. Now, I know you can see that. What a difference, right? All right, so that's my other sign. Excuse me, along with the stitching. I am still sick, guys. Along with the stitching, the trim is just off, okay? Another thing that really got me. Now, I didn't, this, excuse me, this right here, you will even see they've imprinted a 45 there. But you can see that the stitching here is off as well. And not only is it off, when I took a picture with my iPhone, which is what I'm filming on right now, when I took a picture with my iPhone and submitted it to Pro Authenticators, if you look close at the top, there is a piece of glue. I guess that's just like a, okay, so that doesn't count because that's like, you see it right there? That's just something that's on the bag. Another thing that folks was mentioning is the zipper. The zipper is normally like this. So this is where this was hard to tell. The zipper is normally like this with the end being big like this and not small. On the bad fakes, it's small, okay? The hardware to me was okay, but apparently it wasn't okay to Pro Authenticators because immediately when I sent this, when I sent the photos, they said it was fake. Now, I do have the back of the strap, you know, laid down properly. So some of what I saw was just not adding up. I mean, I get this part right here that, you know, it just wasn't adding up. And I felt like, okay, people are going to go through great lengths to fake this bag. My stitching down here is fine. You could see the Louis Vuitton throughout, and you could see the word Supreme here. So I was like, what in the world? All right, let's turn it off to the side. Here is where I had my biggest issue. I'm going to wait for it to focus. I could not tell from this, honestly speaking. My N is sharp, my L is short, my O is not oval, it's round. Everything, my A is pointy, my R is slim. So for me, I was like, what in the world? Like, I literally can't tell, folks. And so you might say to yourself, I could tell right away. I couldn't tell. So what I did too for that is I brought mine away. Excuse me. Oh, I'm going to get sick of doing that. I brought mine away. And if you look at mine away, it looks the same to me, folks. Another thing was, it looks the same. So you're going to have to help me there. Oh, I'm spilling things. Sorry. You're going to have to help me there because for me, these two look the same. They do. If you see something different, let me know. I dropped my sign. Okay, now the other thing was the stitching was, you know, it's mustard. It's mustard color. I didn't see a difference in this stitching versus this one. Like, I didn't see this as being light colored stitching, but maybe you do. Okay. All right. Now, the biggest thing on the interior, everything's fine. Let me show you the date code so that maybe you can help me here. The date code is here, and it says, or reads, FL1127. I did notice that, and I got it stuffed right now, guys, because I wanted it to sit up. I did notice this chap is different shape than this chap. To me, this is thinner right here than this. This is more like that, okay? The other side is fine. And they've even got wipeable pocket, okay? So this is where I get kind of confused with the super fakes, guys. And I'm calling this a super fake because I feel like it is a super fake. I feel like if I didn't, I don't know. I did question a couple things though, but I felt like, wow, this is fake. Like, what the heck? What is going on? The amount of energy you have to take for that. I dropped my calendar. Okay, so what I also did too is because I was like really kind of bummed out. This is the biggest thing. When I saw this hang tag, immediately the stitching here was like, what the, right? Never would Louis Vuitton ever put that out. The font here is expanded, meaning it's not shrunken down. It looks like it's been elongated, right? Let me show you the difference. So that was my telltale sign there. All right, you've got your red glazing. It should be Bordeaux. Here, my O's, my U's, my T's are all like, the font is like this. It's like they made it big like that. The biggest thing for me was the stitching. The stitching side does not match that side. That was huge. So I went and pulled one of my vintage hang tags. This is vintage. So forget about the patina. The fact is you don't see any mishaps on the stitching, not one. And the Louis Vuitton, let me hold them up together. The Louis Vuitton is not like expanded. Let me stop moving. Okay, can you see that? Can you see the difference there? All right, and this one on the back, it's not going to be the same, and ignore that. I had somebody paint it for me. Made in France. The fact is, this one right here, I just was like, what the, you know? I've got the Louis Vuitton on the back with no problem. And let me show you one more thing. So this was a big red flag for me. Okay, just kind of sharing this with you so that you can tell the difference maybe. I hope that is focusing. I'm gonna be quiet. The stitching looks to be the same in terms of color to me, okay? If I'm wrong, let me know. Excuse me. This one is older, so, all right. The book that came with it was totally, I believe the book is authentic. In fact, he had a picture in the listing of a receipt, and the receipt was for a bandouliere. But if you read the receipt was for a graphite bandouliere. So I told him, I said, the receipt that you have pictured with the bag is not for that bag. So, like, do you have the receipt? And he's like, oh, no, you know. So, again, all those red flags I ignored, right? Because we want to believe what we want to believe. This is the little belt, so to speak, that holds the two handles together. So this was huge for me because this right here just screamed non-authentic. I didn't like the elongated font, number one. But the biggest thing was, look at that. Look at the stitching. If you look at the stitching, it's, first of all, it's not even. It starts here and goes like that. So that's a problem. Because, again, I don't know that Louis Vuitton would ever put out something like that for sale. So that's what really, I mean, with everything else, I was like, this is just not cool, right? So, I'll be returning it. And I kind of just wanted to share, excuse me, guys, this with you so that perhaps, you know, you can help yourself, because I feel like sometimes the community doesn't really look out. It's like, you should know that, or, you know, why are you asking us, or get it authenticated. Sometimes, man, I get things authenticated and I'm like, is that accurate? I don't know. So I'm really just sharing with you in hopes that maybe this doesn't happen to you kind of thing. Last but not least, let me show you. And it's a shame. I got to send this back because I loved it. And I'm not paying $5,000 for it. On the back of this is where you have the Louis Vuitton. Okay. Now, some of the hardware, because this is a limited edition bag, some of the hardware that I've seen on some of the other pictures in the listings on eBay or what have you, they're not this muted. It's muted hardware, antique brass, but it's not this muted. It's like, you know, a little bit more shiny than this is. So that's another sign. All right, you guys, I am definitely going to let you get on about your day. But I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to point out what I initially saw in this bag that was like red flags that I just pretty much ignored because I felt like if I was telling him I was getting it authenticated and he didn't stop me, that, excuse me, it was authentic. And unfortunately, it's not. So now I have to wait to send it back and get my money back. All right, you guys, I am going to go take some Theraflu, and I'll see you soon. Have a great night, and I hope that this video, which was a little different from what I normally do, helped you just a little bit, okay? Thanks. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below.